We chose to make the film in PAHOKEE because it's a county that has very radical segregation. And my family lives in Palm Beach County, Florida, closer to the beach. So PAHOKEE is in the northern Everglades, and it's where the U.S. we grow our sugar cane.
But also, we didn't just choose to go to PAHOKEE and make a film out of nowhere. Patrick has had a relationship with people in PAHOKEE for many years, and we started by making a short film about prom in PAHOKEE called The Send-Off, and then we made different short films, and through making the short films and knowing the stories of the people that we got very close to, we decided that it was important to tell a bigger story, a story that was more complete about the struggle of what it means to try to do better when you are from a rural, segregated place like PAHOKEE.
Wait, then you got two. You vote when they carry out your homework. Money got back here.
We're still. Homework.
Stop and ask one question. What is a bag of candy gonna do towards our grade? You vote when they carry you get your homework in for a week.
Usually what we see in mainstream media about high school is predominantly white and urban and more economically stable, and so we see some people of color here and there, but I've almost never seen a film that is like a high school that is almost just people of color, and there's a lot of those in the US because of segregation.
Abuelita y abuelito, los quiero mucho y gracias por venir en un día tan especial para mí.
In graduation, I think it's also very cinematic and powerful because we have an immigrant family in the United States. Well, we have a president who's saying we don't want immigrants, and so we are showing a contradictory narrative to what the government of the United States is projecting to the world. So these events, they're very cinematic, very dramatic, and their people's lives are being decided in these small moments. I stay recording the shooting scene as long as I could, as long there were shots being fired back and forth, and I was maybe like 5 meters from the shooting. And then I decided when seeing parents and children running for cover that it was very important to leave the shooting and to record the community and to see what it's like to be a parent, to be a mother covering your child.
And we talked about including that or not, and we made the decision to do it because these shootings do happen regularly, and the community has to live with that. And the way that these are usually portrayed is somebody comes in, usually the news media, after it happens and talks about the gangs, and somehow the whole community is demonized by by those incidents. And we wanted to show what it's like for the families. And as Patrick has said, the victims of these things, the victim is the community.
When the football team loses their championship, it's like their soul has been ripped out as a community, because every year the success of the football team is like a rebirth of the community.
Thank you. Disappointment and some dejected young football players at PAHOKEE tonight. The Blue Devils being stripped of the state title they just won. PAHOKEE High admits to putting an ineligible player on the field.
Yes.
The principal says a data error was made.
What the worst thing for the kids is human error took something from them that they worked completely hard for.
So Nigeria says it best. Every time there's something good, it's like, don't get too happy because the downfall is coming. They're used to having, like when they have a big triumph, it's like the community, the county is not happy for them. It's almost like they don't deserve it. When they play football games, they say they're playing against the referees. So they are constantly having to fight the system and prove that they can do something. So a situation like this is a real punch in the guts.
I swear, it's like one thing after another. Like, every time something's good, it's like, don't get too happy because the downfall is coming. I'm just dealing, I guess. Just dealing with stuff and waiting to get my results back from fam, preparing for ACT. Hopefully I can, pass that, going to get that out of the way because I really want to get acceptance in FAMU University. So I can go to school and just get away from here. Like, I'm ready for May 18th to come so I can just graduate and just, leave and start a new life. I'm ready for that.
With a lot of direct cinema, like Frederick Wiseman, who we do love, but we don't agree with the way he objectifies what he's recording. We really want to be participatory in the lives of the students. So we wanted their voice to be in the film. We didn't want it to be these outsiders coming into the community and telling their story.
And we still didn't want to interview people, but we thought that the cell phone footage that they were already capturing in life was very authentic, spontaneous, and already part of their lives. So integrating that into the film would feel natural with the flow of their lives in a way. And we didn't give them much direction on what to do. We told them, you could share whatever you want with us. You can film things that are happening in your lives. Just be close to a light source and not in the wind.
Visual artist whose work was very inspiring for us for this film was Kara Walker, and what she did in the factory in Brooklyn, where they used to keep all the Domino sugar, she made a giant sphinx that was a caricature of an African woman, like you would see in the early 19th century in the US. And she combined it with the idea of the Egyptian Sphinx. And it's just a very powerful work that speaks to the oppression that sugar brought to the American colonies, and how African people and slaves were imprisoned in the service of making sugar. And it's a giant white sculpture. This film, we invested a lot of money to work with the best colorist in Paris, Isabelle Julien, because she comes from the old school of 35 millimeter and projecting films in the cinema. And so, yeah, that was, the cinema is what we dreamed of for the film.
And also the black box of, you know, the thought process that goes behind into creating a room where you can remove the world and let people experience and feel like you're there. And our film is so much about being in the present now with the people that you're watching on screen. So being in a cinema really is the best way to experience our film.